All right, here we are. Week later, we've got the cam seals are in because we kind of ran into a little issue when we were trying to install the VVTi filters on this beautiful 3UZ inside this GS430 of Sam's. So Sam, you want to tell us a little bit about the issue you were having there?
Yeah, so turns out there's a little bit more that needs to be taken apart than I expected. Admittedly, I didn't do the research that I was supposed to do the VVTi filters. So timing belt has to come back off. The intake cams on both sides have to come out. They wouldn't have to come out if I was just replacing the filter, but the cam seal's right there too. And since we're going to have that cam cap off the very front one, to get at those VVTi filters, that's right where the cam seal is. So in order to change the cam seal, the cam has to come completely out. The VVTi actuator, yeah, I guess they call them actuators, the cam gears, that whole assembly has to come off of the cam.
Yeah, and that's got a goofy design too, where it has
It's very
one
weird.
cam gear, but it's a dual overhead cam.
Yeah, because the two cams are geared together behind the whole timing cover system.
Yeah, the head, the front of the head. I mean, I
yeah,
know
the two gears for the cams that drive the intake cam drives the exhaust cam. Those gears are underneath the valve cover.
And we'll get into that and show you all of that. But now that we've kind of buttoned up stuff with the Supra, which I got to drive over here, which is super cool, and also ran into a random R32 GTR on the way over, which was pretty sweet, and had some spirited driving in my non-turbo Supra. But hey, it handles great. Love it.
Still cool.
I love it. I still love it.
Yeah.
So we're here. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and tackle it. All right, we'll show you how it goes. So this is that sort of funky dual overhead cam, single cam gear design with scissor gears. That's really funky. But here is, if you look back in there, there's those gears that have got that together on the right side. And then those are tied together with those gears. And this is the single cam gear that we're going to take off and then remove this whole area right here. So Sam's going to get to it.
Before you take anything apart, I put this bolt in here. This is a 6mm bolt that ties together the two, this is what they actually call the scissor gears, is there's two gears that are, it's basically one gear that's split down the center, and it allows for some shock absorption, I believe. And it might have I think it might have something to do, I'm not an expert on this, but I think it might, partially what it does is it allows this gear to still drive this gear even when it changes the timing, so that it's a split gear. And when you take all this stuff apart, if you don't lock these two gears together on the exhaust cam, you can apparently have some problems. So this bolt is in here to lock those gears together. On the other side, it's on the bottom, so you can't get to it yet. So I'm just going to do this side first to get it all apart and then all back together, and then roll the motor over and do that side, because I want to make sure that everything goes back where it's supposed to go. So I'm just going to do one at a time.
Sounds advanced. That's what you get when you buy a fancy pants car with a big fancy pants engine.
Yeah.
You have to be a big fancy pants boy who does things the fancy pants way.
It's not your typical 350, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So now we got to take this gear apart first so that we can get this off. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking pulling something like this apart.
Oh yeah, this is like what controls the timing of the motor. I mean, this is definitely...
Yeah. That's nice. So apparently these are never ever disconnect, never ever pull out parts, because there's an O-ring on the inside of here that seals the oil system for the phasing, the adjustable phasing.
Okay.
I've seen a video of a guy tearing these apart and pulling these out and replacing that O-ring on the inside because it does get old and crunchy. And they say you can't buy the O-ring from Toyota or Lexus or anything. They just say it's a non-serviceable part. But he pulled them apart and replaced that O-ring because the car that he was working on wasn't his car, but they were actually leaking from
like seepage out of there.
That O-ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't have any leaks up here, so this is fine. And I probably could get away with not replacing that cam seal, but I'm this far, and I'd kill myself if it started leaking in like, a year.
Well, that's the thing.
And I just did all this,
the filters,
and all of a sudden,
we talked about the filters and how they can throw that code for the filters with the oiling system. There is a little bit of, buildup with the heads and by the cams from oil changes.
Yeah, it's absolutely a good idea.
There's a little gunk, and this is all part of the oiling system. So,
yeah, as much of a pain in the ass as it ends up being, it's a great idea. And apparently, a lot of people don't change this filter just because it's such a pain in the ass. I mean, I get it, but it really should be done.
And that's still the old one?
Yeah, I have a new one of these somewhere.
We just had it was in a box. It was right over there.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but I don't know. That can be done at the end. I mean, that's so easy to replace.
Yeah.
That can be done at any time. Where did I pry on this before? Here we go. There we go. Ooh, and there's the filter.
Really? Right there? Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, you can see some oil passages. There's your VVTi oil passages that jump into this whole actuator thing, and there's a Gates part number if you're interested.
There you go.
These were, I don't remember, like $5 a piece or something. Obviously, super cheap.
Rock Auto sponsor us.
Nothing. There's nothing to them, but it's an oil filter.
Let's get that good crack open. That wasn't as satisfying as I hoped it would be.
No, it's actually in good shape.
It looks nice.
It's not clogged at all.
Yeah.
I don't even see anything on the inside. But, can't hurt.
Trying to focus this. There we go.
Just like with the cam seals, they're not leaking now, but.
All right, so Sam got the cam out, and that's how things are looking now.
So there's your keyway, well, not really keyway, but a pin, a dowel to properly put the gear back on the right spot. And there's 2 dots over here. There's 1 dot over here. Now, obviously, the gear can only go back in the only way it can, but what's nice is these 2 dots line up with, I believe it was the outside of the head, right at where it stops, where the valve cover goes on. And this side mates up with the other gear when everything's in time. So I checked that before I pulled it apart. That was all correct. So we just got to make sure that that's the same
going back together
when we put it back together. And that's going to be tricky, kind of like the old school days where you had a distributor and you had to kind of line it up. It had a helical gear set just like this. You had to kind of line it up.
This is wild.
Before.
This is like some real Dave and Buster's shit right here.
Yeah, this is interesting. See if I can even get this off.
Does this work? Do you squeeze the cam seal through the center of it? you like put it through here and then.
I don't know. Maybe more research needs to be done. Maybe I would just pull this off.
Yikes. All right. Well, I'm gonna look into that. All right, take 2. The gear does not slide all the way down the cam. So
Great. There's a big oil seal here. Okay.
I was going to guess that this was going to require some prying. Do you want me to hold back there?
Yeah, I don't know. Trying to be gentle with this. Oh, I think this has to come out. Yeah, this is just a cover. And there's an Allen key in here, I think. Allen head. Yeah, and I think that's
okay.
That's what actually bolts it on. Great.
Guys, the good news is if this breaks, Sam has to buy new cams and cool ones.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go.
Those are on there.
Those on there.
Hot dang. Let me tell you, did not feel good what was going through there.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm actually a little bit worried about breaking the cam. As much as I joke around.
Whoa. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Mint.
Just for a cam seal.
That thing looks nice too.
It does. Didn't have to even replace it.
Whatever. I mean, if you didn't look at it in a week, it'd be leaking out of it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There we go. There's that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And here, I actually just pop that back on there. And then I have a torque spec for that. So if you get the thing, then I should hopefully be able to hold it down while you...
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. Okay, so we just did a quick lookup on the torque spec, which is 58 foot-pounds. Once again, we're still struggling with the no vice, but we will prevail.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Whoo-wee!
One more time.
Yeah, hold on. Let
me
get a little closer. I need to... Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Got to use the old vise right here.
All right. So.
Good thing I'm so much man. Otherwise, Sam might be in big trouble.
I'd be in huge trouble. I don't know what I would do.
I'd be in big trouble.
So I wonder if this...
PSA, you always need a big man in your life. Sam's had one for years.
I don't know what I'd do without you, Adam.
See?
I don't know if this gear has to come off. I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either.
Well, yeah, it does, because the seal has to come off. So yeah, in order to change the seal, this does have to come off. You could pull the whole timing tube assembly off and then unbolt it, which would be easier because you'd be able to get right at it instead of sneaking past
the lobes.
Yeah.
You got the dowel lined up.
Yep. Yeah, it can only go in one way, really.
Yeah. You can't flip it, can you? Just to make you paranoid. All right, sorry.
You could if you pulled it. If you pulled it all the way off, but it was on the camshaft the whole time.
To be fair, you're always trying to make me paranoid about stuff with my car, so I guess now this is beautiful.
It's payback.
You sure it's not backwards? Okay.
I'll remember that when we're building your engine.
Oh, that's not even fair. The level of anxiety I experience is just
Well, it's got to go into a rubber seal, which I kind of wish I had, but it's okay. That looks easy to replace. Right out in front.
That one would actually be pretty easy to replace because as long as the covers were off.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll hold this one more time.
Okay.
That's good.
All right. Nice.
Okie dokie.
All right. So I'm abandoning Sam, which is on me today. But we did get a good amount of stuff accomplished here. We got Sam. You want to tell them what did we all get? What did we do?
We got the cams out.
Okay.
Got them apart. Got the front seals changed. And then replaced those VVTi filters underneath these caps here. And did some cleaning in the meantime of various engine parts. Valve covers are pretty much ready to go back on.
Yeah, they have these ridiculous tabs for the spark plug seals.
Spark plug hole. Spark plug tube seals.
Here they are. And you have to bend these 4 little tabs on each one in order to do it. It's a terrible design. Come on, Toyota. You're better than that. You're better than that. But otherwise, then after this, timing belt needs to go back on, like valve covers, timing belt, and then the rest of the front of everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like
all the covers.
I'm saying it's the back together process.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'm trying to be positive about it that way, that finally, after going back together and then unback together.
And coming back apart. And
yeah.
Start going back together for good this time.
Yeah. Now we're actually ready. So it's looking good. Everything came apart pretty nicely, I think. I mean,
it did.
You know, there was a couple struggles, and I feel like most of it was just us not knowing what to do with it.
Right.
But here we are, looking good.
Yeah, should be running next week.
All right.
That's
1 week.
the idea.
Put the deadline on there. I like that.
Mark it on the calendar.
1 week. And what we'll do, you guys are like a week behind, so the goal is to get this thing working so we can drive our cars together. That'll be cool. And have our summer cars out.
Yeah.
One of Sam's 8 summer cars.
Oh, stop it. 2.
Guy needs fewer. He has a summer truck too.
Right. That's true. I do have a summer truck.
Okay, so it's not 2. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you in a week.